As we've developed the pentatonic scales, we've seen that there are ways to link them together. We can do the minor pentatonic scale, which I'll usually refer to just as scale 1. Spoke of the 2 fret rule, where we hit the top note and slide up 2 frets on the top couple of strings. We can develop the pyramid off of that. You can slide back to 1, or finish developing a scale center there. This could be pentatonic minor position 2, or based on that note, it can be a major scale. From there, we can add the 3rd, and tack on a 4th, and a 5th. And from there, we're back at scale 1, back at the top. That means if you've got scale 1 up here, then you have scale 5 on its backside, and scale 4 behind it, scale 3 behind that, scale 2, and back to number 1 again. And again on the back of that is scale 5. So you can use these to link your entire guitar and cover all the notes on it. What I spoke about before, though, was the fact that that was a little onerous for me, to play one, then the next, then the next. And that was the only way I knew to get around. I gave you a way last time that we could get around. We could play 1 octave, recognize we're on the same note, and play the same lick. And so on, and link them that way. One of my favorite methods is just to go to scale number 4. I'm going to move this back down into E to give you a popular position. So if this was the open position, this fret, instead of being fretted, would be open, so this would be open and 3 in E. As you know, we've seen that one a million times already in songs like Sweet Home Alabama and Wish You Were Here. That's in E. If you know your guitar neck, at least these lowest 2 strings, you know you've got an E on the 5th string at the 7th fret. So if we can play an E minor scale that goes open 3, open 2, open 2, then at the 7th fret we could go 7, 10, 7, 9, 7, 9. I've taken position 1, moved the root onto the 5th string. When you switch strings, you've gone up effectively 5 frets. We know that the 5th fret note tunes the next string. So if I switch from an E to an A string, I've gone up 5 frets. Another 7 from there would give me the octave. 5 and 7 is 12. 12 frets, 12 semitones will give you an octave. So from E, open, up 12 frets is another E. Up 5 frets is the open A. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So another 7 gives me the E again. So I can take that scale, long step, 3 little ones, and 2 long ones, and put it on this E. Long step, the augmented second, couple of major seconds. There again we hear that major second, but we're shifting up a fret because of the 2nd string shift. So I've got 7, 10, 7, 9, 7, 9, 7, 9 moved up to 8, 10. And then this long step back here at open 3 is now moved to 7, 10. So I've got position 4 looks exactly like position 1 or shape 1, just played on the wrong string with a shift. And then you can put the bottom back on it. Just like we see here, we've got O3 on this string and O3 on this string. That means we would have 7, 10 on this string and 7, 10 on this. So position 4, I didn't draw it there. You can see here, has the complete scale position with the 7 and 10 on the low string too. So we have this B to D, landing you on the E note. Once you're on E, you're doing a pentatonic minor. It looks like shape 1 on the wrong string, which requires a 2nd string shift, a missing string, which is down there. So that has become a real favorite of mine, because you get so much rock music played on that E, for the very reason that the scale works here beautifully. People like to play in E blues or E rock with this E. They can continue to use the low open E string, but take the power chord and put it on the 7th fret. Just as you heard the Sunshine of Your Love lick in D with chords. Clapton's song Cocaine from 1977, a J.J. Cale song, does the same riff with E's and D's. And then it'll use some of these position 4 licks. So there's a 7-9 with the 9s barred on the 3rd and 4th strings. That uses some position 3s, which can also be played in the open position. Hendrix's Purple Haze, played on this E, uses a beautiful lick from the pentatonic minor scale. It goes 9, 7, and 8 to this 7, slips back into position 3, and back up to 4. Position 4, a couple of notes from position 3. Even this chord is devised by playing this scale. We have this 8th fret here, the E root here, the 7th here, and they just put a major 3rd in it. It's called the E7 sharp 9, often called the Hendrix Chord because of songs like this. I think it's really just a pentatonic chord. It's a major chord with pentatonic intervals on top. So a great deal of rock music will be played on these notes. If you're good at position 4, then you can slide out to 5 in one direction a bit, and position 3 on the back side a little bit. If you know position 2, say I'm at 3-5-2-5 for instance, and position 4 it's 7-10, 7-10, then we must have a scale in between, 5-7, 5-7, 5-7, that fills the gap. So you actually know position 3 without learning it, because you can take 2 and 4 and connect them with position 3, and so on. Every time you've got one, you've got another right beside it anyway. So that's position 4 of the E minor pentatonic scale, and it's useful in so much classic and hard rock from the 60s and 70s especially. Satisfaction, for instance, Born to Be Wild, Cocaine as demonstrated a little bit here again, and Purple Haze, for instance. Those are just some examples of the most popular ones.